Good evening. This is just Bob Bowman. I'm coming with another video. This is going to be pre recorded, but it's still a video. The topic I want to talk about today is, do men, especially black men, have the right to have standards and preferences? Um, the reason I'm talking about this is because there's been a lot of pushback on men that go and get their passports, that go other places to look for women that's suitable to date for their preferences and their standards because they're having a hard time finding it here in the States. Um, there have been women that's done this. I have no issue with anybody that want to go outside of where they live at to find someone that's suitable for them. I think that's everybody's right to do. Um, I do believe that a person have to do the work on themselves first before they can venture off and be successful in that endeavor, because we all need to work on ourselves. We all need to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be in order to be suitable for a partner. Now, if a man is doing the work on themselves and they still having a hard time with finding someone that they want to be with, and I'm not talking about just looks, I'm talking about attitudes and ideologies and the way that the person carries themselves, if they still having an issue, it is absolutely nothing wrong with going elsewhere. I'm going to use an analogy about how things are in the dating market and how things are on these YouTube streets as far as men going to get their passports and looking elsewhere, how they are treated and how they are disrespected on a daily basis. All right, say for instance, you're in a city, and this city has 90% of the restaurants are Church's Chicken. Now, for those that never had Church's Chicken before, Church's Chicken is not the best quality of fast food chicken. Is a KFC or a Popeyes or something like that. Their original recipe chicken usually doesn't have a lot of seasoning in it. It's kind of bland. Their chicken is real greasy, has a lot of fat, but it's good for like something that's, if you're in a rush or if you don't have a lot of money, it's a good place to go. So imagine a city where 90% of the restaurants are Church's Chicken. And then imagine that 10% of the restaurants are Popeyes. Now, Popeyes is one of the best chicken places ever. I love eating their food. I think that their crispy original chicken is really really good. And we see how good they are because when they came out with those chicken sandwiches, like the lines were wrapped around. But that's beyond the point. I just want you to imagine 90% of the restaurants in a city is Churches, while 10% are Popeyes. Now imagine that the Popeyes restaurants, the 10% of those of the restaurants in that city, Popeyes, that they're always busy. The lines are not just wrapped around one block, the lines are like 4 blocks long. Sometimes it's so long that some people leave and end up going to the Churches that's nearby because they can't wait as long as what it would take for them to get some chicken from Popeyes. Now, say for instance, the Church's Chicken decide to price their 10 pieces with biscuits at $30. But then you have Popeyes, which have a 10 piece with biscuits at $15. But outside of that city, in a near suburb, you have a city that have a whole bunch of Popeyes where they're the same prices as that what it is in the city. where they have a 10-piece with biscuits for $15. And the person has the means of going to that suburb to get the chicken that they really want, not have to wait in a long line, because the lines in the suburb Popeyes isn't as long as it is in the city, and they get exactly what it is that they want. Uh, there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's business. But you'll have the church's chicken that will see people doing that. It don't even have to be a lot, but it'll be cutting into their bottom line. So churches, instead of looking for ways to strategize to bring their prices down and to be competitive with Popeyes in the city, they start running commercials where they say, oh, anybody that go outside the city looking for chicken and don't want to come to churches, they're only doing it because they're broke. Or they're only doing it because they think they're getting a better deal, but they have to travel all the way out that way to get chicken when they could just get in the city. It doesn't matter if it's a better deal. You should just stick in the city instead of bringing their prices down, even where it's reasonable, where it's like $17 for that 10-piece and biscuit. And they'll be like, well, we charging you for convenience. Then it'll be more understandable. But that's how I look at it when I look at the complaints about brothers going overseas, traveling, getting their passports, because it's nothing wrong with doing that. Like, women have been doing that for the longest. Why can't the men do it? Why can't we talk about it? Like, there's been books since the 90s of women talking about going overseas and finding what it is that they want. What's wrong with a man doing the same thing? You know, we have the right to have our preferences, regardless of whether people agree with it or not. It's our God-given right. I remember for so long that I've tried to change what it is that I like to fit what others thought that I should do, that it made me miserable. Because no matter what I did, I know that I like what I like. There's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing anybody else could do about it. So it makes no sense to me why people would be worried about where it is that I stick my Johnson at, where I spend my dollars at, how I choose to enjoy my life to the best of my ability. They talk about, what about these children out here that need father figures? Where in the hell are their fathers? Why is it that you're looking for a man who isn't that child's father to come in and step in? Especially if that child's father is alive and able-bodied. There's no reason to be looking for me to be the backup plan for somebody else's mistakes. And I don't mean to call children mistakes, but we just have to call it what it is. And in the poorer communities, the urban communities, I would say it's a lot of mistakes running around. And that might be offensive to people, but it's the God's honest truth. And it's not up to me personally to clean up somebody else's bad choices in life. I have to clean up the bad choices that I've made in my life, and I have to do it with nobody's help. And I have been doing it. And it takes money to travel. So the women or anybody that has something negative to say about men traveling, oh, they only just doing that because they broke. Most of these people are the same people that were complaining, whining, and crying about getting student loan debts removed. Myself, I had a student loan debt and I paid it off. I'm not going to say how much it was and how much I paid off in the last month of last year, but I paid off a significant amount to where I'm debt free. I didn't have anybody coddling me, holding my hand, giving me loan forgiveness or anything of that nature to handle my debt that I created. It was my debt and I needed to settle it. Just like this is my life and I need to figure out ways to make it better for myself. And I understand that some people don't like this message that I have out. That they wish that men like me would just shut up and go along with what it is that we were told and do what it is that's expected of us. But those days are gone. They're long gone. They were gone since we realized that we were never going to get the deal that we were supposed to get. And so we understand that we have no reason to compromise anymore. Like, it's no negotiating with those that want to consider us their enemies. I know that I'm making the improvements in my life. Like I said, I made choices to improve my finances. I made some sacrifices in my life to help my finances get better. I'm learning how to manage my money a lot better than what I used to. I'm getting my health together. I work out. I eat salads. I do the work that I'm supposed to do to make my life better. And if I'm doing all this work and I'm working hard for the little money that I make, why should I settle for somebody who isn't even trying to improve their life? Somebody who allows themselves to eat themselves to where they look sloppy, that allow themselves to have multiple children with different men. Now, I'm not trying to bash anybody, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but at the same time, I'm going to defend myself against the negative rhetoric that's been put out here about men who choose to travel. It's a reason why. And the people that have an issue with us making that decision to travel, and they need to ask themselves, what is it about this community that is so bad that the men, instead of just going along with the program, they would rather go outside of the community to get what it is that they want. Even if they could get like a woman for free here, they would still rather travel and go to another country to get what it is that they want. And it ain't just weight, and it ain't just the children by multiple men out of wedlock. It's also the attitudes. It's also the disdain. It's also everybody trying to tell us that we ain't nothing. It's also the lies of saying that we're broke. We might go through financial situations that's difficult, but that don't mean that we broke. I remember when I was going through my financial situation, I kept a roof over my head. I had a car. I had clothes. I had food in the refrigerator. But even with those things, I was called broke. And with those things, if you go around the world to different countries and you have those basic necessities, you're considered rich. But what that tells me is that the majority of people in this country are spoiled, they're entitled, and they're rotten to the core. And you think that a man is supposed to ignore all that and just go with the flow of things. Like I said, those days are over. The days of being the beta male stepdaddy that gets stepped on are over. The days of giving up our money for nothing are over. We understand what's going on in the world. I actually tried to find another way before I took this route. And once I saw that it was what it was, I had to do what I had to do. And I know I'm not the best looking person in the world. I know I don't have the most money in the world. I know my flaws. I've accepted my flaws. As a matter of fact, I'm saying these things because I don't care if I'm even looked at as an asshole at this point. Let me be an asshole. I'll be an asshole telling the truth than being a pussy telling a lie. If you want a pussy, you go on somebody else's page that spread that rhetoric about how men need to step up and allow themselves to get shitted on by these bras that don't give a fuck about them. Yeah, I'm going there. I know I haven't been cursing. I haven't been saying a lot of stuff that everybody want me to say or doing it how everybody else wanted me to do it. But right now, I'm at the point to where I just have to freely express myself. To the point where I'm not being disrespectful to anybody, but I'm making a point. I'm proving a point. You ain't gotta like my point. come with logic against my point. Until you logically come against my point, there's nothing that you can say about it. Because I have my own personal experiences to go off of, and I look at actions more than I do words. So you tell me what? You tell me how to think. You tell me how to live. And I see if it work. And if it don't, fuck that shit. I'm going to do things my way. If it's working for me, that's what I'm going to do. So you can look at me as, oh, he just soft. He can't handle this. Like, I ain't supposed to be able to handle a bitch. Bikes have handlebars because bikes need to be handled. Tools and equipment need to be handled. I shouldn't have to handle another fucking human being. It's fucking stupid. And you people want to sit up there and still spread these fucking negative ass thinking patterns and thinking ideas. Like, it's stupid. But you don't want to fucking just come to the realization that it's stupid because you don't want to seem like you're weak. What's weak is just going along with the crowd and not fucking expressing yourself the way that you need to express yourself. That's what's really weak. So if you want to say that I'm weak because I don't want to date somebody that I'm not attracted to, that got multiple children, then fuck it. Call me weak. Because I don't give a shit at this point. Because apparently the people that need to work on themselves, that ain't working on themselves, don't care about themselves. So why in the fuck should I care about them? If they don't want to fucking hit the treadmill, if they don't want to go to the gym, if they don't want to eat a fucking salad instead of stuffing their face with McDonald's every day, or stuffing their face with some fucking smothered gravy covered food all the time, then that's on them. It ain't my fault. I didn't make anybody overweight. I didn't make anybody obese. I didn't make anybody not attractive. I didn't make anybody have multiple children with different men. It's not my problem. And I'm going to keep saying that it's not my problem. I'm trying to get away from the issues because I didn't do it. I didn't start it. It's not my problem. If I didn't have anything to do with it, if I don't have any children, I'm at this age, I'm not fucking taking care of somebody else's responsibilities. There's nothing that you can say or do about it. And if you want to do something about it, do something about it. But at this point, I really don't care. You don't have to like how I say it. You don't have to like how I express it. Because at the end of the day, I've been working on myself. I know what I've been doing. I know the hours that I've been putting in for myself. And I got to look myself in the mirror and ask myself whether or not I did the best that I could for the day. And when I die and I meet God and I get judged, I'm going to I have to be held accountable for everything that I've ever did, even this video. So no, I'm not delusional. No, I'm not entitled. No, I'm not shallow. I'm being my fucking self. If you don't like how I am, get the fuck out of my face. Don't look at my videos. Don't pay attention to me. Just shut the fuck up. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I know some ain't gonna like the way that I delivered this, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is how I truly feel. I'm not a perfect human being, neither is anybody else. And believe me, there were some people that I thought really highly of until I saw the real versions of themselves, and then I had to come to that realization that not everybody is honest and truthful about who it is that they present to the world. And I understand if you don't want to listen to whatever else I got to say. But at the end of the day, I got to get this stuff out I got to get it off my chest because I hear all the other negative rhetoric that's going on around. And men like me need to start stepping up and defending themselves. If we are on agency, we need to actually speak about what it is that's going on within us, how it is that we feel is going on in this society that's affecting us personally. There's a lot of people that want to shame other men for the choices that they made in their life when it's the best thing for that individual person. Not everybody is supposed to travel. Not everybody can travel. There's some people that stuck here because they made some bullshit choices in their life and they got to get their shit together before they can even think about traveling. I was there before. So that's why I appreciate even more so being able to travel than a regular person would be able to, because I had to fix a lot of potholes that I created in my life and smooth the edges out in my road so I could be able to take off on flight. So you can dislike how I deliver it, you can dislike what I had to say, but it had to be said. And like I said, I'm still going to go to the gym. It doesn't matter if I got a disability or not. I'm going to take care of my health. And it's not just to attract some bitch. It's because I need to live comfortably. And me exercising to help me with dealing with my situation to the best of my ability. That's why I do it. I come on here and I express myself because I hear so much of the bullshit that's out there that somebody got to speak some type of logic on our point of view. Like, I'm tired of trying to sugarcoat things and trying to say things correctly. I'm just going to say what the fuck it is that I'm going to say. As long as I'm not disrespecting an individual person or people or a group of people, I don't care anymore, because everybody is going to be offended anyway. Like I said, I've been canceled before. So I know how it is, how it feels to be just totally ostracized from the community. I've been there before. But while you thought it would kill me and crush me inside, all it did was bring out the person that you see right now. And this person that you see right now is going to be a lot worse to deal with than the person beforehand. Because I really don't care about your feelings at this point. But thank you very much for everybody that listened to this video. You're free to leave any comments that you want. Just don't be too disrespectful, because if you get disrespectful, best believe I'm going to get disrespectful back to you. But like I said, this is just Bob Bowman. Have a nice evening.